Welcome to the Winning in Business podcast. I'm your host, Kelli Risse, and I love talking to business professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs who are winning in business. Are you ready to reach your next level of success? If so, join us on the Winning in Business podcast as I interview entrepreneurs, business professionals, and leaders who share how they've risen to success. Before we begin, go ahead, hit subscribe and the notification button so you'll be notified each time a new episode is released. Plug in and settle in. You're about to be inspired to rise up to your next level of success. Welcome to another episode of Winning in Business. My name is Kelli Risse, and I'm your host today. And today we are going to dive into National Stress Awareness Month. And I want to talk about how to prevent burnout, because we know stress is a thing. We know that we are going to experience stress, and stress can be good for us. It's when it's over the top that it creates burnout. So the first thing we need to do is we really need to recognize the signs of stress. And there are four major signs of stress, of how stress shows up in us physically. So for me, stress shows up tension up in my shoulders and my neck. Stress can show up for us in our digestive system. Stress can show up in headaches. There are many different ways that we can experience stress. I also experience stress through my attitude, through my moodiness, through some of my behavioral actions like procrastination or not sleeping well enough, right? So these are the ways that stress shows up for me. And if you know my story, you also know that stress caused me to be in supraventricular tachycardia and landed me in the hospital. And that's when I knew things had to change in my life. So my goal of sharing this for you today is that you don't end up there and you really start recognizing and being aware of your stress and how it's showing up. So the four different ways that stress can show up. One is in physical symptoms, right? Those are the ones that we feel. We have low energy, we have aches and pains, frequent illnesses. The second way that it can show up is emotional stress, right? So that's the irritability, that's the like feeling overwhelmed, feeling anxious. Any time that you have that emotional stress, your emotions are going to be over the top. Okay, so you're going to feel more frustrated. You're going to feel more guilt. You're going to, whatever that emotion is that you're feeling, it's going to be at a high level and it's going to stay at a high level. The third way is cognitive stress. And so this causes us lack of focus, right? Our inability to really concentrate, memory problems. We can't remember things that we're like, I used to be able to remember things. If you can't remember things, stress. And then also poor judgment. When we're stressed, we do not always make the best decisions. And then the fourth way is behavioral stress, right? And I mentioned this a little bit. It can show up in nervous habits. It can show up in sleeping issues, right? Are you having trouble falling asleep? Are you waking up in the middle of the night with your mind racing? Eating, are you overeating? Are you not eating? Same thing with drinking. Are you turning to alcohol do you think wine is going to solve all the stress problems that you're having, right? So those are like sleeping and eating issues. And then also the procrastination. So when we are stressed, sometimes it takes us longer to make decisions. It takes us longer to do things because of all the things running around in our mind and how our body is responding. So the first thing you have to do is really step back and recognize that this is your body telling you something. Your mind, your body, your spirit is telling you something when it's doing all these things and acting these ways. And, we've come very used to just being like, oh, this is the way I am. This is the way it is. Oh, I'm just getting older. Whatever that is that we're telling ourselves. But those are signs of stress. Those are signs. And really, if we think about it, stress is just a symptom. Stress is a symptom of what's going on. And here's how it's showing up in you. And when we don't address that, it takes a toll on us. Burnout, health issues, right? Stress is related to these 6 major causes of death. And I don't mean to be a downer here. I just mean to go, we need to take this seriously and stop telling ourselves that I can handle stress. I can handle stress, right? Because at some point, the stress is going to catch up with you. The second thing that we need to do is to step back and analyze and evaluate. So what stress personality is in high gear for you, causing the stress in your life? Because stress is a symptom of who you're being, how you're acting. So, are you in high achiever mode and not giving yourself time to relax and to rest and recharge? Are you in perfectionistic mode where you are making sure that everything in your life is perfect, and that is making you literally contract and be tense? Are you in doing mode, which means that you're in people-pleasing mode and you can't say no to anything? And so you're saying yes, 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 yes. And then your calendar is overscheduled. You have no time for yourself. You have no time to rest and recharge. So we have to stop and analyze and evaluate. Who are you being? Because there's things that are going on in your life for sure. But have you ever noticed that 2 people can go through the same situation and they can each experience it differently? So if you're aware and know how you're experiencing and how you want to be experiencing it, right? Then you can make that happen. You tell yourself how you want to be in this phase of life, and then you can make that happen. And quite often, we're usually like just randomly going through life, not being intentional about how we want to show up and how we want to handle things. So we need to step back and evaluate. And then the next thing we need to do is let go. We need to let go of some things. Now, I don't know your specific situation. I don't know what you need to let go of. For me, when I was in the height of my chronic stress, I had to let go of perfectionism. I had to let go of control. I was trying to control things that were not in my control. And that is stressful and doesn't even make sense because it's out of my control. And so I really had to evaluate what I was doing. I was not only expecting perfectionism in myself, I was expecting perfectionism in others. Then I would also compare myself. I had to let go of comparing also. I had to let go of thinking that I needed to be striving to get ahead instead of just going on my path of moving forward, right? So I had to really change my mindset. I had to, step number 4, I had to say yes to new habits and new thinking. And for me, I had to do some really deep inner work in order to do this, because we get so stuck in our ways and often we can't see what's going on. We need someone else to help us see what's going on because we're used to the way we are. We're very comfortable with our beliefs, even if they're driving us crazy and we're frustrated with, how we're living and if the habits that we can't, get a handle on, and we're frustrated by that. We're very comfortable with who we're being. And so often it really does take mindset work. It takes a trained mindset coach to help you really evolve your beliefs and your thinking, because these beliefs are things that you have probably grown up with since the age of, 1, that you have heard. They're in your subconscious mind. They're running a program and you may not even know that they're running. And so you have to adopt some new beliefs and some new thinking. And then the 5th way to prevent burnout and really keep yourself healthy so you can live just a vibrant, active life that you want to be doing is you need to set up support and accountability. We know how important support and accountability is. I needed that because if not, I wanted to revert back into my comfort zone. And so when I had the support and accountability and I had someone else cheering me on, when I had someone else going, hey, you are going back to the way that you didn't want to be. Let's figure out what's going on and work around these challenges. And when I had that support and accountability, I was able to make changes. I was able to make big changes in my life. And so now I'm always recognizing my stress. My clients are always recognizing their stress. They have new beliefs. So in my one day deep dive breakthrough experience, right? This gets to the core of what is going on in the back of your mind that's running your program silently. And they come out with a whole new set of beliefs that are so much more aligned with what they want to do. Old beliefs are not aligned with where you're going. You can't continue to be who you are today to get to where you want to go. We know that there has to be growth and there has to be new learnings. There has to be new beliefs. You need to make sure your values are aligned. So all of those things come from getting the support that you need, and then the accountability to make sure that you just keep going on the path that you want to keep going. It is so easy to slip back into the hamster wheel of life because we've been doing it for so long, especially if you're my age. I'm 52. We all grew up knowing that we had to be on the hamster wheel of life, right? That's a myth. We can still succeed. We can still grow our business. We can still be rock stars and have our stress under control, and have joy and peace, and have bodies that are in great conditions. And our thinking affects our body. And so I'm going to go through the 5 steps one more time so that you can recognize when you're headed towards burnout and you can start making changes. Recognize the signs, what's going on in your body, in your thinking. Number 2, step back. Analyze, evaluate, look at your stress personalities of who you're being. 3, let go. What do you need to let go of so that your stress can come back down? 4, you need to say yes to some new habits and beliefs. And then 5, set up accountability and support to keep you moving in the direction that you want to go. Because if we are staying still, we're not moving forward. So it's always about moving forward so that we can conquer the goals that we want to conquer, and that we can truly take our business to the next level, our success to the next level, and our finances to the next level. And when we do all of that, and we can do it in a way that we have peace and joy and happiness, in my opinion, that is true living. That is taking our vibrant self, impacting the world, and spreading the energy that we want to be spreading around the world to make the greatest impact. So this month in November, National Stress Month, be aware of your stress. And if you need help addressing your stress, if you need help changing beliefs, changing your thinking, changing your mindset, please reach out, message me, because I can help you do exactly that, like I have done with so many of my other clients, and I've experienced myself. That's it for today on Winning in Business. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Until then, rise up and live. Thank you for being a part of the Winning in Business podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode and want to rise up to your next level of success, but are worried about increased stress, time for work and yourself and your family, not to mention being exhausted, I'd like to invite you to a complimentary strategy call where I'll show you how you can do it all. I'll help you reclaim time, keep your sanity, handle the chaos with ease, and move to the next level of success that you deserve and desire. I hope you found value in listening today. Please always leave your comments, feedback, or questions. We check them all. I want you to continue winning in business and reach your next level of success. See you next time.